Hello everyone, it's Roslyn from the Roslyn Marie channel. I apologize for any echoes you may hear. Today's video is a few pointers for being on stage during and areas of competition and sometimes when you're not being judged, but you might be. All right, so in various pageants you have your introduction competition, and that's where you go ahead and you introduce yourself for the first time before you do your interview to the judging panel, and sometimes you have an audience. Now, in some pageants, National American Miss does this on stage, kind of a separate competition. So they do this on stage, and then Miss American Collab, the first time around, especially at state and nationals, you will do this privately in a room with other contestants and the judges in front of you. No audience for that one. However, if you make it as a top semi-finalist at Miss American Collab, you will then perform your introduction on stage during the national pageant finale. So, usually when you're on stage, you're standing, you're waiting your turn, or vice versa, if you're in the interview room waiting your turn. You're doing your Model T stance, or what some people call pretty feet, which is either 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. One foot is pointing directly straight, the other one is at an angled position. But other than that, you are standing in your Model T stance. Remember, never lock your knees, or else if you're one of those who gets a little nervous or a little tense before you go on, you will do one of these. And that doesn't look okay. So remember, do not lock your knees, kind of keep them slightly bent at an angle. Keep your posture straight. Your back should be nice and straight. You shouldn't be standing like this. No Quasimodos. But also, you don't want to be standing like this. I'm ready. You want to keep your back nice and straight. A perfect way to keep your back arched straight is to take a deep breath in before you go inside or before you go on stage. And let it out. And then just keep your back nice and straight. So I'm going to angle to the side so you can see how it should be. You can block your buttocks if you want, but you want to stay nice and straight. All right? And your hands should be relaxed by your sides. You don't want to be doing one of these little numbers. This is not Miss Universe. If you're doing like Miss USA or something, maybe this is appropriate, but for a natural pageant, this is not appropriate to be doing. You also don't want to be doing this. In martial arts, this sometimes means that you want to fight the sensei. Sometimes nonverbal body language like this means you're a closed person, you don't want to talk to anybody. And if you're trying to battle for a title, this is not the position you want to be standing in. So you want to keep your arms relaxed by your sides. Now, not straight down, because this makes you look like you're tense and nervous. You want to make sure that when you take that deep breath in, your arms should be kind of bent. See how my elbow is kind of bent like this? Almost like you're a mannequin at a store. And then the last piece of the thing you need on your face is a smile. And you don't want to be doing one of these smiles. That looks creepy, right? So one way to do it, and it's kind of silly, but before I go on stage, I do this. And that gives me my smile. It's a little more natural than doing this. I don't know if any of you have ever seen the Addams Family Values movie when they ask Wednesday to smile. Wednesday doesn't smile, but when she does the stretching of the muscles and everything, that actually kind of helps because it'll relax your mouth muscles, especially if you're going to be smiling for quite a while. And it's okay to, relax your smile every now and then. You're here. You can always go. But never do it too tight, or else you're going to you'll have a little tick like this. So, relax, just lock it in place, arms slightly bent. For National American Miss, you tend to do this pattern where you're going from here and then to the queen. So let's say I'm backstage. Then that last girl just went, so I'm coming up. You want to stand nice and straight. Where should your eyes be? The judges in the audience. They shouldn't be up here. Oh my, forestry. You should be thinking things like that. Your focus is, take a look at me, I'm doing great, how do I look? I look fantastic. Those are the things you should be thinking in your head, internally. So the next girl just went, so it's your turn to move up to the next star. You don't want to be moving your arms like this a lot either. This looks really weird, okay? Just simple, natural sways, kind of like this, is okay. But while you're standing still, stay still. And you're smiling, and then you go to your last position. Just before, you're gonna be the girl that's up next. And now it's your turn. So here you're standing, always use the arm. You can use your dominant arm. If you're a right-handed person, use your right hand to grab the microphone. If you're left-handed, then use your left. Always use your dominant side of your body, all right? When you grab it, no two hands. Don't bring it so close or else it's gonna sound really muffled and gross. You know, one hand, keep the other one relaxed, okay? And remember to bend your knees, deep breath, and start. Very simple. You don't want to do anything that'll make you too, you know, scared looking, or you don't want to go too fast, moderate speaking pace, but always remember. And then, you know, it doesn't really matter where you walk, but I think out of respect, it's always perfect to give back the microphone, take a step back, and walk behind the ring. All right, going into further detail of things you should not be doing while standing there to wait. No grabbing your interview dress or interview skirt or interview pants or jacket. Don't be fidgeting with your clothes. So remember, stay nice and still, relax. Scan your audience. Don't just do this, because then it looks like you're a robot. Scan, you know, just slowly scan. Try to get their attention. For MAC pageants, for Miss American Poet, you're standing in line with the other contestants. Those judges are not only looking at the girl who's going right now, but they're looking at you. So again, scan them. Make eye contact. Sell them with your eyes. That's one of the best things you can do. When it's your turn for MAC, you know, again, don't be fidgeting with your suit. All right, so again, you don't want to be fidgeting, you want to stay still. Now for MAC, what you're going to do is you're going to walk forward to the X, never look down at the ground. I want you to vow right now saying, I will never look down at the ground for anything, okay? So you're gonna be here, you're looking. Again, that deep breath. No microphone is needed for this one when you're in the interview room, and you'll just begin speaking. And while you're speaking, you're scanning your judges, making eye contact with each individual one. Very simple. And then for MAC, they have you do kind of a turn. So you have the option of doing a pivot turn, which I feel, you know, it's a little short, so you can do a pivot. Or you can do a circle turn when you're up here. So now it's not a big one, not like an evening or circle turn. It's very simple. You go. Very simple. All right. So let's move on to the next set of business. Our next area of business is the on-stage portions and interview in the evening wear competition. My apologies. So with evening wear, again, there are different patterns for different natural pageants. But while you're waiting your turn for evening wear, or while you're walking, here's a few things you should never be doing. So for now, you do the lovely yellow tape row. And sometimes during the final pageant, you have a trophy in your hand. Sometimes some state pageants, you don't do that. You just get it after you go up. Regardless, if you have a trophy in your hand, you do your evening wear, one hand only. Repeat. One hand only, one arm on that trophy. The other one relaxed by your side, and you're walking. Now, it may be different. They may have you use your other hand. Follow the instructions and listen closely during rehearsal. If it's the other hand, again. And also, never look at the floor. Never ever look at the floor. Just take a guess as to where you're going. Go with your gut intuition. You know, if it's a little short, that's okay. Scanning your judges and your audience is what you should be doing. And just because you made it to the end of the yellow tape row does not mean you just look straight and walk off. You can also keep looking, and then when the light is now on the next contestant, then you can look away. Also, for MAC, same thing when you do your evening wear, but it's a little different. They have you're already on stage waiting like you are for introduction, and you're here, and then up next is you. So then you'll go out and stop, do your circle turn, Do a pivot turn, and you're going to walk off. Very simple, very straightforward. Again, do not look at the floor. Do not look at the floor. Also, look at your audience. You should be paying attention to anybody else but the judges, the audience, and you owning it. You looking confident. Those are the key things to be successful in your evening wear competition. All right, so the next item of business, now that we're here, are just a few little moments when you're not being judged, but you should probably be on your toes. So the opening dance is done for fun. You're not being judged on it. You're not being judged on, oh my gosh, she looks like she's really bored. However, that's a moment for everyone to enjoy, including the audience. So wouldn't you want to look like you're having a good time? Wouldn't you want to look like, I had a great time this week and I'm doing it, yeah! Have those fun facial expressions on. Because the judges, they're watching it. And they're not judging, but they might be formulating an opinion. And if you were the girl that shined the other night, they're going to remember you. So if you shined the other night and you're really into it, you shined this morning, and all of a sudden you're doing this, gosh, I hate this dance. They're going to quickly turn their heads and find the other girl that was shining too. It's all about perception. You want to keep a positive image about yourself. You want to look happy. You want to look like you're having fun. If you mess up, well, back to mess up. That's fine too. But it's totally okay. Also, when you are waiting in line before they start the show, everyone's waiting in line along the walls. Guess what? Those judges are going to be walking in while you're waiting in line. Should you be there going, I heard this girl doing this, and I said this, and then, or give them a dirty eye. I've seen this happen before. That is not the way to do it. Even though they're not looking directly at you. For example, I have really good vision, like peripheral vision, so I can see from the side of my eye right now and I know what's going on. That judge may have that too. You never want to be doing things that you'll regret later, or that you'll feel, oh my gosh, I did that. I brought some negative energy upon myself. Always keep that in mind. It's very, very important. It's all about perception too, so don't forget that. Another thing you don't want to be doing, and I've seen this in a lot of my videos from when I was competing, you're in the awards ceremony, you're standing there and you're smiling, you're very excited, you're like, oh my gosh, I really hope my name is called for something, and let's say you kind of didn't click with another girl over the weekend or over the week, and all of a sudden, she gets called for something. This is the last thing you want to do, because the camera's looking at everybody at some point, doing this. No. Because what if that girl bought that DVD and is watching it at home, and you're a returning contestant next year, and so is she? How do you think she would feel about you? Don't ever do that. On top of that, the judges are watching. That is not the attitude you want to portray while you're being recorded on video. So always be the team player. Congrats, and continue on with the show. Don't ever roll your eyes on stage. Don't ever make a face. Don't chitter-chatter with the girl next to you. It doesn't look professional. This is all about professionalism and growing confidence and being a role model. Here is something that you may find very helpful before going on stage. You get a couple girls to join you in, All right, so everybody's feeling a little tense, a little nervous. So here's something you can do. Even though you're wearing heels, you can do shake. Everybody shake one way to let out some pageant jitters. Another way is to help you in a deep breath, take your arms all the way up. Breathe in through your nose and through your mouth. You also want to stretch the side so there's no back pain. Stretch the side. And then one fun thing you can do with a partner, grab one of the girl's hand and do breathing exercises together. So one will breathe in, the other one will breathe out when you hold it in, and then she'll breathe in, and you'll breathe out. It's almost like a back and forth game, so to say, but it helps relax the two of you and brings more of a positive vibe to everyone backstage. So those are different ways that you can just relax yourself before going on stage. I hope the tips about what not to do on stage are helpful. Keep those things in mind. Remember, it's all about perception and keeping a positive energy. So remember, you're always being watched as well. Best of luck at your pageant competitions as well. Feel free to comment on my videos below. I love hearing things from everyone. It may take me a little bit of time to get back to you, but I always try to reply to everyone.